G'day punters and welcome to the Wild West. We are brought to you by Betfair Australia. Bet harder, bet smarter. Crip, we bet pretty hard, we bet pretty smart last week. Nearly a clean sweep for the lads.
Yeah, very enjoyable afternoon, to be honest. We will start in race one, both pretty keen on requisition.
Leading. What?
What were your thoughts in the run?
What? Well, it was travelling that well. I was always okay, but 50, 80 metres in, I'm thinking take a hold. But look, all's well that ends well.
Exactly.
Daniel. So got the chockies, tipped it at the right price, tick, 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 and I reckon it'll win another with the right setup. It's going super. So,
Yep. Probably helped by the leader bias track, but no, obviously copped a bit of pressure, so strong win.
Very strong win. When we went on to race number 3, you were keen on Standout Rose and Billy Isn't Silly.
Billy Ain't Silly,
The double?
Yeah, I had a lean towards Standout Rose, who ran third. It was a pretty good run. I was happy with the ride. Sort of got 3. No, I actually was.
I know you were, but the fact you pointed it out, I thought it was good.
Billy Ain't Silly, the money came in floods. Was it sort of 380 to 260?
As predicted.
Yep, led, copped a little bit of pressure from Mitch, but just popped off into the breeze.
Huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, and again, helped by the track, but really strong win and justified the strong money, so we got something out of that race.
Could you imagine as a bookmaker going up $7 for Billy Ain't Silly?
Come on, Brad.
He had a pretty good day. He had a really good morning this morning, so I needed to find somewhere to get stuck into Mr. McManus. We moved on to race number 4. It was Denim Pack. In the run, you're thinking, hang on, we might be on here. Leader's back, and the leader is Glasgow Girl, who hasn't got the biggest heart in the world, but she had a very big heart, and she kicked and beat us comfortably, but we picked up again well, ran second, tipped her each way. She was sort of $3-4 a hole most of the way through, so a winning race nonetheless.
No complaints.
No complaints.
And then we go to Tin Snip, which would have...
My biggest launch of the day.
For an absolute fill-up of a day. Talk me through the ride, Terry.
Well, first of all, let me tell you a quick story, Daniel. Don't mind my quadrillas, as you know. Stood out Tin Snip, only taken 4 in the second leg. Black Shadow was one, who SP'd about $40. Had the winner of the Karrakatta, 20 odd bucks, Export Man, and obviously had Tycoon Storm in the last. And the way I do my quaddies, I had about 10 divs or something. So I was up for not just my big launch at Tin Snip, but Clint, a little bit too patient. By that stage of the day, we were aware you needed to be on speed, you needed to be rolling, you couldn't be coming from last on the turn. And a horse that I expected to settle first fours ended up behind Plateau, and dearie me, I reckon it was just a good thing licked from a just too patient, cautious a ride.
Now, in the run, I thought when we were on the back of Plateau, I said we won't out sprint this horse, and but even in the straight, he just didn't get into it, and
Why did it take so long to
patient?
Too
patient for a leader's track, but I'm going to continue on with that. He'll be my horse to follow again because I think he's going really well, and he's got a win in him very soon.
Clint's going super too, but he rode 2 shockers on the weekend, the long weekend. One was Dig Deep, the other was a Tin Sniff, and they're my 2 probably biggest launches. Follow Trap for Fools for me, huge run, not leading. Shout out to Kira for her ride on Media Baron, super.
Yep. That's actually another good segment because nothing really stood out for me on Saturday rides-wise, so I'm giving my ride of the weekend to Kira. The little double here. Firstly, her ride on big screen. If you look up in the dictionary how to ride a leader, you'll see the replay of that. Absolutely 10 out of 10, Kira. Well done.
I reckon I got the 1500.
You did get it. It might be a nice horse in the making.
Do you know what I backed in that race? Because I'd missed the big screen price. I backed G-Force at 100 to 1, the second horse.
Second, okay.
Did I back it each way?
No.
No.
And then, like you said, followed up with Media Baron, last on the rail, sort of looked like Pikes sliding through the field, and capped off she's flying at the moment, to be honest.
She is, She's riding in super form. You can back her with confidence, city or country. Jason Brown, ride of the day for me on Saturday on Black Shadow. Watch him hold Lucy Warwick in on Kerman Rock, who is travelling and maybe beats him home if he doesn't do that. Great race awareness. Super ride, Jason Brown, unfortunately. Had him a quaddie, but didn't back it at the price. But we move on, Crip. Interesting meeting coming up. Strongish easterly, 30-degree day, rail at 5 metres. I'm thinking just pretty much heavy on pace.
Yeah, I think you have to think that now. Don't you? It's sort of normality's been restored the last few weeks when the easterlies come in. We've seen it on pace day, so expecting nothing less. Interesting card. I'm probably not as excited as last week, but there's still enough to keep me occupied anyway.
Yeah, I was really keen when sort of odds started coming up this morning, but they've all trimmed a bit now. So it's all about prices for us, and it's a week I actually would recommend listening to the podcast. We had Michael Heaton on this morning, and we did a bit of a deep dive, discuss the prices required. But I mean, race 1, I wanted to tip City Circle, got him 260. I think she leads at worst, hands up, and I think she just about wins, but I need closer to $3, so I can't tip it at the price. I think Standout Rose in race number 2 will go forward. This time, Crip. I seem to be alone in this thought process, but I think they'll go forward and land in the race.
I can see why you think that. You've got an aggressive jockey out of the gates.
But again, I've marked Standout Rose 260. It's now into 240. It was floating around $3 for a while, so I can't tip that. But we'll kick the day off with the first actual tip. Give myself a couple of free hits there, Crip. A couple of freebies to start the day.
Mention next week if they go.
Yeah, 100% I will. We'll start the day. Featherweight race number 4. Before the barrier draw for the Karrakatta was the second emergency. I was pretty keen on Featherweight if she drew a hole. He drew a hole, sorry. He didn't, and he also didn't get a run, so it didn't help him much. But look, if I was going to tip it for the Karrakatta, I have to be pretty keen here. His 4 lead-up runs were absolutely sensational. On debut, chased home Pixie Chicks, who obviously franked that form very well. 4th when leading him up in the Supremacy. That was a race dominated by horses off speed. Lewa nearly won the Karrakatta, only a length and a half off. Arguably, Crip in the Perth Stakes was a better run than Export Man, and obviously Export Man did win the Karrakatta. From barrier 8, this horse has led. It's come from last. I think Chris will be aggressive early. If they take him on, he'll take a sit. If they don't, he can lead. I think it's one of those foolproof ones where me maps aren't all that integral. I'm about 240 featherweight. It's the current price. So we do want to shop sort of 260, 270 late on the exchange, which I'm hoping for. But yeah, pretty keen that it'll win. And I don't think there's much point in throwing to you because it's a 2-year-old race.
Let's move on to race 6.
Race number 6 over the 1,200 metres. What's going to win?
All right. Spoiler alert. This is my best of the day. It was actually a horse that you flagged a fortnight ago. That is Some Sort as your horse to follow. Trialled like an absolute bomb down the Pinjarra Straight. Worth noting, he had the blinkers on that day. And then, so I was a little bit surprised to see the camp elect to remove them for his first up assignment.
Ran into Adam that day at the races, and Adam said he thought it would fire him up too much fresh when he didn't have the fitness under the belt. So probably gives you a bit more confidence. Yeah,
exactly. So there you go. So anyway, race without blinkers, first up, 1,200 metres. It was actually on a rare day at Ascot where horses who were getting cover and coming down the outside were probably suited. So you don't see that very often. Still ran a cracker, led a really strong tempo. They went 7 lengths quicker than benchmark to the 600. Gave a good kick, but condition probably ran out late. Got swamped by Amacinus. No knock on that form. She's won her last 3. Probably should be undefeated this preparation. So that looks pretty good to me. Now, second up, will have come on from that run. Stays at 1,200. Suitable assignment. The blinkers go back on. As we said before, Eastleigh wins on pace day. I think she'll bounce straight to the front he will bounce straight to the front for Jade McNaught, who gets on really well with the horse. I'm not expecting a heap of pressure. I know Glasgow Girl will probably race in the breeze, but I couldn't imagine Ryan Hill wanting to take Some Sort on. And Bozoom is another speed horse, but I'd imagine he would be. I don't think he's going to go
Some Sort's quicker.
Hell for leather, to try and get to the front. So looks a pretty suitable map. Leads, gives good kick. Eastleigh wins. Hard to catch. Best of the day for mine. 3:30. Good shopping.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Crip. Angelic Miss and Absolute, plenty of respect for. I think they'll be flooding late, but they'll need to be close enough to Some Sort who will be very hard to catch with the conditions. Price?
I had 250 actually, so pretty short. And Angelic Miss is probably the one I'm most concerned about, but just wasn't 100% taken on her trial. Slow time, was sort of bustled, did run on well, and also worth noting, Miller had the blinkers on that occasion, which is, his one wood is normally when they're going really well, he takes the shades off and then puts them back on for race day. So
very well picked up on.
Absolute, Pikey goes on, but will be 3 back the fence at best. I'm hoping 4 back the fence. A few Terry Leighton roadblocks would be nice. Yeah, pretty keen Some Sort to lead all the way.
I'm with you on top. Not quite as short as you on $3, but I can definitely see that. Should be very hard to run down. Crip, we better touch on the Marjorie Charleston Classic. Clairvoyance knocked off at $1.40, $1.50 last week. Sat in the breeze outside Zeeble. Meriting the performance, but Jay still beaten by a horse that sat 3 deep. The trip, your mate, Riverbow.
Riverbow.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was a big performance. Probably might signify that we might have a really a nice sprinter on the way through in Riverbow as well. But for me, Clairvoyance will ping to the top, run them along. Weak horse on its back in, who are the two? It's going to have Ladies of London in the breeze. And I've lost my spot here. Blankenberge on its back. They're two pretty moderate performers.
Blankenberge, Little Red Bikini and Excelsior in this race is it's quite humorous, I feel it. And the funny thing about it is that they actually give Clairvoyance weight.
Yeah. The vagaries of set weights and penalties. So she goes to the top. She wins. What's a backable price?
I've marked her $1.40. Unashamedly took I missed $1.85 that Brad Bet went up, but
was there for an hour, I reckon.
Was it? Yeah, I wasn't doing the form till sort of last night. Took the $1.65 to be honest. Just saying, not a huge bet, but something to watch. I just think the keys here, from all reports, she needed the run first up. She now finds a race where she will lead instead of have to sit outside the leader. The 1200 suits her better. I think she's a dead set moral, to be honest. For those who like to multi stuff, I reckon she's your anchor for the day. Cryptic Love's the one that's thrown in at the weights, but she was a surprise.
She got
winner.
15 points.
She got 13 points, I think. So even though she's well weighted, if she didn't, I don't want to say fluke that win. It's not fair on connections, but if she didn't win that, she wouldn't look well weighted at 40 to 1.
Jeez, I wish she lost that day too. I was Western Temple. Yeah, second.
Don't want to be a hero. I'm tip $1.50 pop.
He's declaring it. He's absolutely declaring it.
Tim Payne.
Dearie me.
Yeah, she'll be winning.
Yeah, she will be winning, and it could be a gap job just about, couldn't it? So good luck to a friend of ours, Travis Murray, as well, who's a part owner in her. Hopefully she hits the heights that we're all hoping she does.
Sorry, I did cut you off. What was your Betfair minimum price late if you were to see a drift?
I'm not a real shorty. Again, why is she drifting? What's Nat Francis saying from the yard? What's going on? So I'll be watching my mate, his beautiful wife, walk down the aisle on Saturday afternoon. So I'm going to probably give you a few instructions for the Arvo. If this hits that price, you know what? I might steer clear. But look, if $1.80, you'd think it'd be plenty to get involved.
Betfair the late market seems to get the shorties right more often than not. I reckon. Like, you're happy to back a drifter, but those ones at $1.50 out to $1.90, just sometimes you tread with caution. Yeah,
exactly right. Monitor your data over a long period of time, because I reckon we might be losing more often than we win. Race 8, Crip, it's the feature of the day. Am I throwing to you here at all? Have you done any? A little bit?
You go, but I'll add a little bit at the end. Not really.
Well, let's just discuss it. I think the big thing here for me is it's all price sensitive, but when they threw up barrier 10 and they haven't drifted Western Empire out from the $1.35 type mark, I don't know. It's the best horse, don't get me wrong, but from 10, Pike either jags to last or looks for a spot. If he jags to last, he has to go around them all, obviously, unless he looks for luck. Or if he goes forward, there's a chance of getting caught deep, a bit like Truly Great in the Perth Cup, which I'm not having nightmares about anymore, which is a good thing. The way I see this race being run is you've got two relatively strong leaders in Outback Jack and Lunar Impact. How they settle exactly, I don't know, but they'll be first and second in the run. Horses in that line, your Hollyoaks, your Reliable Stars, Temptation looks like it might be able to find the 1-1. They should get really nice card-ups behind strong horses this time, while Western Empire could be on the back of Flash Ducati, Fear the Wind, horses that won't necessarily bring Western Empire into the race. So I expect he'll win the race and circle them, but at $1.35, I have to try and take him on Crip. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'd much rather be on Clairvoyance at $1.50 than Western Empire at $1.35.
I asked Heaton that exact same question, and he said, I've actually got Western Empire shorter than Clairvoyance, but I'd prefer to be on Clairvoyance too, which doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but I know what he means.
Yeah. Look, we don't have... Oh, do you want to get a tip, Sonny?
I'll always dip something. Always have a free.
It's a stupid question, wasn't it?
Well, I have Mark Western Empire $1.70, just with the hurdles that he faces from that draw, which does mean a couple come up as a price, and they're all the girls that I just mentioned from the good alleys. Temptation, I got $7.80. Hollyoak $16, and Reliable Star 21. They'll all trade higher. Hollyoak will probably trade 50, 55, $60 each way on the exchange. So I'm really happy backing Hollyoak each way. Huge run, 1,600 up to 2,400 in the Oaks. Held up behind There's a Thought, who was just stopping dead, was way outclassed in that race. Ran the quickest last 200 metres. Actually, as a 2-year-old, Hollyoak used to ping the lids and land handy. So I think from barrier 2, can just about hold the back of Outback Jack or Lunar Impact, whoever leads. And if not, 3 back the fence, cuddled up run. I don't think you get many opportunities to back a $50 pop you think's a genuine chance. And I just think because Hollyoak isn't overly fashionable, we'll see that 50 to 1. And each way, I think there's worse bets.
Don't need much on it, those odds.
Don't need much on it, exactly right, mate.
Now, all I'll say on the back of that, I just was really impressed with Lunar Impact after the post in the Oaks win. Like all the other runners who were, Pure Devotion was coming at it, they all had enough, and she could have done another lap, I reckon. Like she just took off again. So 2,400 will be no issues at all. Look, at the moment, I don't want to back her for a win, but place price is $3.30. If we see sort of $4 plus a place late, which I'm hoping we will, do you think?
Yeah, very likely. Western Empire, 300% market. Western Empire will take up $1, $10, $12. Temptation's always a well-supported animal, and Outback Jack, we're expecting him to probably try and lead and cross Lunar Impacts. She'll pop to the breeze still though. I think that's okay. Yeah. With a 1-pace stayer, I think that's fine. Yeah. I think you're a big chance.
I just reckon on a day, with the easterly winds, if you back Lunar Impact to place, you'll get I'm not going to be going silly or anything, it'll be more just entertainment bet, but you get a sight for your money, I reckon.
I've learned my lesson about backing her place only back after the Oaks, but something small Hollyoak, something small Lunar Impact. I think Western Empire is $1.30 pop that you can you can have a little play around. Yeah, you can try and get beat, probably unsuccessfully. Anyway, we had to race 9, and we're both keen on one, but it's a different one, which I really like. We haven't gone head-to-head for a while, so lead the charge here, Crit. What are we backing?
All right, I've actually surprised myself a little bit here. When I was doing the form last night, to me it looked like I was really keen to focus in on 2 horses. One was Creator, and the other was Dark Mission, but sort of as usual with the Pike, Grant Alana and Bob's horses, they normally got gross unders. So in my head, I thought I was going to be on Creator. However, Creator's the one that's gone up pretty short, and Dark Mission's more than a backable price for me. So hopefully Pike in the last is a thing. Now, we'll quickly touch on his recent form. 3 starts ago was the race when Lactar Ramilly nearly put Chris Parnham and Amacinas through the fence, and the byproduct of that was he was heavily inconvenienced as well. So ruling a line through that. 2 starts ago, drew 11 of 12. Got Paddy Carberry from memory was on. Got back on a leader bias Bunbury track. Hit the line okay, but never really in contention. So I'm happy to forgive that run. And then last start, Pike went back on, drew 11. What did he draw? He drew, was it 12 of 13? 11 of 12. Jumped as well as anything in the race. Pike had to heavily restrain him to find cover. Blocked badly at the top of the straight. Hit the line super. Ran the fastest last 200 of the race. I'm a big advocate of horses who can jump well but have to get restrained from wide gates, who then at their next start draw well, because I think he'll be able to hold a spot. He's in barrier 4. Pike will have him just behind the speed. Her just behind the speed. And look, I don't get the opportunity to back Pikey very often, so more than happy to pile in at the $6.50, $7.
Back Pike in the last. Did you actually do the form, or did you just decide, look, this week it's race 9, it's late, it's Wednesday night, it's 11 p.m. I'm just going to back Pike. Everyone else does it. It seems to work for them half the time. So
it's good to team up with the great. I'm not a big Pike backer because I always think he's overfound in the market, so it's nice to have him on your side for once. I'm probably going to save on Creator. I actually marked him favourite. Just surprised with how well found he was. But look, I will admit I'm not a huge over east form analysis, but if you're looking at the data, some of his runs from earlier in his career absolutely super at around this distance. First two runs in WA have both been good, especially last start ran second to Amazonas and on that occasion beat home some sort, so hoping the form is franked earlier in the day. 1400 metres is the key. CJP, our man, drawn barrier 2, will again be just in behind him. He only has to really repeat the figures that he's been running, and yeah, he'll be pretty hard to beat in this race. Sort of think 360, 380 available at the moment. I marked him 320, so it's overs, but I just got a feeling we might see better.
What price are we dark mission?
450.
450, okay. So
All right, what have you got?
easy little Dutch. I'm going to speculate on the toppy here. Correct position of Power. Is fourth up, effectively third up, because didn't play any real part in the race. First up when beaten 20 lengths and pulled out by PJ Harvey. His last 10 runs have been in 72 or 78 pluses where he's been super competitive. He drops to what I think is a really weak 66 plus. I mean, Creator, Dark Mission definitely deserve to be hard in the market. But when you're talking about those two at the head of the market, you know it isn't a super deep race. Tommy Blue's another one that's right up there.
I'd Helm's Gate third for you.
Well,
so that probably shows
that tells you a story on its own, doesn't it? My mate, he's been a good horse to me in the country, I'll tell you what. Tommy Blue, I don't think that form around Thrilled held up at all. So it's just a race I'm knocking. So I did look a little further afield. But 7 days ago was beaten 2.5. Tycoon Storm never really settled all that well in the run either. Said gets in with 58 at the 66 plus here with the Christy Bennett 3 kilo claim. The gate's clearly the issue, Crip. But this is a horse who can jump and roll. We're going to need some luck to find the breeze, which might be ambitious. Get tucked into a 3 wide line, possibly lead up a 3 wide line. But I do believe he is the class in the race. He's only been off the 7 days once in the past. It was when Chrissy Graham was in the saddle and he ran second by a lip to Serenity Bay, who would obviously be very short in this race. So we are going to get a price about a horse I think should be running a peak with any type of luck from the barrier with Christy Bennett, and I actually marked him a $5.80 favourite. So the 15, 16 bucks each way is it's a very easy play for me, and it should really set us up for a big night on the Terps at Luke Finney's wedding. Congratulations on luck, Saturday. So position of Power each way for me, mate.
Yep, fair enough. I guess the barriers obviously, as you said, the concern. So, but you're getting a price to compensate that, and general rule of thumb, you can do a lot worse than back class droppers for your punting. So
exactly right. So anyway, Cripper, your best of the day. You've already told us.
I'm definitely pretty keen on some sort. Just the way the map works out and the way I'm hoping the track's going to play. I think he leads and he'll be super hard to get past, and hopefully Pikey and Parnham are worse or midfield or worse and leave their runs a little too late.
You're on the money. For me, it is featherweight. Was going to tip in the Karrakatta if drew a gate. Chrissy Parnham's got the option to lead or park off him, and as long as the 2-year-old stays happy and healthy, I think he will be winning.
Yep, very good. All right. That will do us for this week. Once again, 1-1 pod, as Terry touched on before. Got Michael Heaton on this week. I really enjoyed listening to his Sunday review show, so also looking forward to hearing how he goes previewing them. Other than that, cripsracing.com. April's been a bit of a turnaround betting-wise. I think we've nearly outlaid more units in the first week of April than what we did in the whole of March. So things have really come to life, and we've been finding a few winners too, so good time to jump on board.
Yeah, give yourself a proper toot. He's absolutely flying at the moment, so now's the time to get on.
Other than that, good luck on the punt over the weekend and gamble responsibly.